Okay, folks, behind me is the infamous LaLaurie Mansion of Royal Street. It is nicknamed for its most infamous resident, Madame Delphine LaLaurie. On April 10th, 1834, a fire broke out in the kitchen of the LaLaurie house. When the fire brigade arrived to put it out, they discovered an elderly, emaciated, enslaved woman who had been chained by her ankle to the kitchen stove. One of the firemen used his fire axe, he cut through the chains, carried the woman outside to safety. As she was being carried outside, she told the fireman holding her that she had set that fire deliberately. She said to him, "I would rather burn to death than let Madam take me upstairs." He said, "Well, what's happening upstairs?" And that is when we learned in the LaLaurie household, if you're a servant and Madam is displeased with you or Madam is having a bad day, you are taken up to the attic for punishment. On hearing that, three members of the fire brigade raced up the back stairs of the LaLaurie house. They broke down the door to the attic and discovered over a half dozen servants chained to the walls where they had been beaten, starved, and tortured. The fire brigade immediately cut everybody down from the chains. It was very easy in that chaos for Delphine LaLaurie and her family to sneak away from the house. We would later discover the LaLauries made their way to New York City, got on a ship to France, and Delphine LaLaurie left the United States without ever answering for her crimes. A few years after the fire, Delphine LaLaurie died in France, penniless and unwanted by her family. So, although she definitely did escape the law, I feel safe in saying she did not escape karma. And it is rumored that this house is haunted by none other than Delphine LaLaurie herself. Some of the hauntings that we've had of Delphine, it took several years to repair the house from all the damage that had been done by the fire. It's said that actually the only part of this house that is original to the LaLaurie house is one brick wall on the first floor. When the house was repaired and refurbished, the first people to buy it turned it into an all girls boarding school. I've got to say, if I ever had a daughter, I do not see LaLaurie being number one on my list of boarding schools. The boarding school only stayed open for a few years. One reason it shut down was in the headmistress's diary. She wrote her students would complain that if they woke up at night, tried to move around the house for any reason, a woman with long dark hair, like Delphine LaLaurie had, would chase them through the hallways with a whip, screaming at them in French. In the 70s, this building was transformed from a one family mansion into several smaller luxury condos. Man bought a condo. A month later, he was calling the cops. When the cops arrived, he told them, "I was getting ready for bed. I don't know how some lunatic broke into my house, started chasing me through my living room with a whip. I slammed my bedroom door, called you guys to come get rid of her." Cops told him, "Well, there's no woman here now. There's no sign of forced entry." And then one of the cops said, "Buddy, let me tell you the history behind this condo that you have bought." 6 months later, that man sold his condo, told people he sold because that wicked woman would not allow him even one decent night's sleep. Now, it would not be New Orleans if people did not also try to profit off of the LaLaurie hauntings. In the 20s, the house was turned into a furniture store. It turned out that the new furniture store owner had a very deep interest in the occult. As this man's tenure went on, he told people he was terrified of the house. He said all throughout the evening he would hear what sounded like chains being dragged along the floor. He would hear odd screams all throughout the house. So one morning he opens up the store. About 10 minutes later, he comes running out, screaming at the top of his lungs that his house had been invaded by a demonic manifestation, that the furniture was all covered in ectoplasm. That's kind of that slimy substance if you ever saw Ghostbusters. This poor guy was so rattled that the neighbors, they're like, "Okay, calm down." Somebody got the police. Cops come into the house. They look at the ectoplasm, go, "Sir, Your ectoplasm is mint jelly. It turned out that a rival furniture store owner knew about the guy's interest in the occult, decided to try to get rid of him with it. So he covered the furniture the night before, and it turned out the chains and the screams that guy had been hearing, he'd been hiring kids around the neighborhood, paying them something like 25 cents to break into the house at night, which was easy. It was kind of run down at the time. A lot of the entrances were open. And then just, go throughout the house, stomping around, dragging some chains, screaming from time to time. So that was one of the hauntings that we could verify was false, and it was false to get the furniture store owner out. Now, people not only claim that the LaLaurie house is haunted, they also say it brings its owners bad luck and misfortune. Nobody knows that better than actor Nicolas Cage, who bought the LaLaurie house in 2006 and by 2009 was forced out because of all his troubles with the IRS. About a year and a half ago, we lost to a gentleman by the name of Lance Sale, and he owns haunted homes all over the United States. In Massachusetts, Lance Sale owns the Lizzie Borden house that he turned into a haunted hotel. There were rumors that was his plan for LaLaurie, but if that's true, nothing has been done about it yet. To a gentleman by the name of Lance Sale, and he owns haunted homes all over the United States. In Massachusetts, Lance Sale owns the Lizzie Borden house that he turned into a haunted hotel. There were rumors that was his plan for LaLaurie, but if that's true, nothing has been done about it yet.